Welcome back everybody to my channel, and thanks for joining me on my last outride in South Africa. In future I will hopefully be making videos coming from Scotland. On today's episode I'll be taking you with on my ride from central Pretoria all the way up to Loskop Dam. This episode starts after our breakfast at the Groot Cafe close to Silver Lakes. From there we took the direction towards Bronkhorstspruit, and we snaked through a couple of dirt roads all the way to Loskop Dam. As for most of my videos, I had the honor to be joined by my partner in crime, Harvey. We started with a very laid-back breakfast at the Groot Cafe, which is an awesome venue, and from there we took the road towards Bronkhorstspruit. Don't forget that if you like this video, to click that like and subscribe. In no time we have made it to the R104, which runs parallel to the N4, and we take this road past Sammy Marks on our way to Bronkhorstspruit. Just outside of Bronkhorstspruit we turned left onto the R513, and within a few kilometers later we've made it to our first dirt road. For the past year I basically didn't have many opportunities to go ride, and you've seen that I also didn't do a tour at the beginning of the year like I usually do. And this is all due to the fact that we are preparing to move to Scotland. So the apprehension doing this piece of dirt after not riding any dirt for over 5 months were quite high. As they say, it's just like riding a bicycle. So after a kilometer the feeling was back, confidence were back, and we enjoyed this piece of road. It wasn't the best dirt road that I've ever ridden in South Africa. This one had some extremely corrugated sections, but yeah, that's part of the fun, it's part of the adventure. And being the last ride out, it was a bit nostalgic as well, so I took it all in and enjoyed every bit of it. So today's destination is Loskop Dam. The Loskop Dam is a prominent dam located in the Mpumalanga province of South Africa. Its construction was a significant development in the history of the water management and hydroelectric power generation in the country. The idea of constructing a dam on the Olifants River in the Loskop Valley was conceived in the 1930s. The primary purpose was to provide water for irrigation and to alleviate water shortages in the region. The construction of the dam began in 1939, but was temporarily halted due to World War II, and it resumed in 1945 and was completed in 1951. Our first 10 kilometers of dirt just flew by, and before we know it, we were already at the R25. did a quick 15-kilometer hop down the R25, and before we knew it, we were already at our turnoff to Zusterstroom. The tar road to Zusterstroom quickly turns into another dirt road. This road was really corrugated and we even had a bit of sand every here and there, but the views going through these hills were absolutely breathtaking. The Loskop Dam was designed as a multi-purpose dam to serve several functions. Its primary purpose was to store water for irrigation in the surrounding agricultural areas. Additionally, the dam was intended to provide a reliable water supply for domestic and industrial use, control floods and generate hydroelectric power. The dam has a storage capacity of approximately 347 million cubic meters and a surface area of about 23 square kilometers. It's massive, in other words. We are really privileged to be able to ride on a road with such beautiful scenery. Having said that, the corrugation did take its toll and we decided to take a little break and just have a good chat and reminiscent about all the other tours that we did before. Not far from where we stopped, Harvey decided he needs a new nickname and will now be known as the Sand Master. As we were riding along at approximately 60-70 kilometers an hour, we suddenly hit a patch of sand, and Harvey did awesome to keep it upright and not drop it. Well done, bud. As I catch up to where Harvey hit the piece of sand, you can clearly see snake trail. Hats off to keeping this upright. Harvey is surely built tough and he just shrugged it off and we continued on our ride. After this little bridge we had quite a scenery change and we were starting to drive more and more between farms, and the landscape still didn't disappoint. Another interesting fact is that the Loskop Dam is equipped with a hydroelectric power station, which harnesses the flow of water to generate electricity. This power station became operational in 1954 and its capacity was expanded over the years. Currently, it has an installed capacity of 27 megawatts and contributes to the regional power grid. And our local sandmaster, aka Harvey, decided that just off camera he's gonna go and play in the sand again and miraculously keep it upright. And just like that, our 20-kilometer dirt road has come to an end. From here we turned left onto the R544 for about 2 kilometers, after which we turned right to Langkloof, which is taking us to our next dirt road. This piece of dirt road is about 30 kilometers long and brings us up right next to the site of the Loskop Nature Reserve. We noticed the start of a reserve and decided that we're gonna take a break and appreciate the views. After our short break, we continued climbing and enjoying the road next to the reserve. This piece of road was in really good condition, and we reached a T-junction, and after we turned right on that, the road really deteriorated all the way to the main road of Loskop. So this road too came to an end, and at the main road we actually were lucky to run into some of our big bike marshal colleagues that were actually marshalling one of the cycling events. After a few more right turns, we were in Loskop and we were able to stop at our first viewpoint. Photos unfortunately doesn't describe how beautiful it is. We headed out to a second viewpoint, of which unfortunately I didn't have footage that I could display here. From there we headed back into town to have dinner, and then we went off back towards Groblersdal to go book into Guinea Feather Farm for the night. And just like that, my last outride in South Africa came to an end. And I couldn't have asked for a better location to round this up. We had open farmland in front of us, and upper deck we had some drinks, a nice cold beer, and we could see the sunset. And there's nothing more beautiful for me than a South African sunset in a bushveld atmosphere. I want to thank you guys for joining me on my journeys throughout South Africa. And hopefully the next time you join me, I'll be entertaining you from the beauty of Scotland. Thanks Harvey, you are my best partner to ride with, and hopefully you can join me in Scotland to continue our adventures.